Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius and Anucauskas. Today is the 24th of June 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so also just a quick mentioning, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel here of JFD Bank. Yep, you can find a search for us here in search, yep. Please do subscribe not to miss any of the videos that we do on a daily basis in different languages. So yep, feel free guys, and we'll be happy to help you in your decisions on a daily basis. So basically for now guys, let's quickly jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on very quickly is the DAX30. So the German index is sliding to the downside today a little bit. It has fallen below this 12,300 level, and it's now currently balancing just slightly above its S2. So today's S2, which is around the 12,250. Now a good potential area of support also kind of coincides here, almost coincides with the 21 EMA. So as you can see, the index is above its 21 EMA here on the 4-hour chart. Still, what we're targeting here is still the downside a little bit, because as you can see, we do have this nice upside support line running from the low of the 3rd of June, and in a way we could see this one, like I said, we could see this one sliding further down, potentially testing this upside line, and then rebounding and pushing higher again. But that's of course if this upside line continues to hold. Now if it fails to hold, then yep, we might see a nice good break here below this upside line, and the next potential target for us would be the psychological 12,000 level. And looking at this 4-hour chart, you can see that the 12,000 is around here. It's near the lows of the 18th of June, and also could coincide with the 200 EMA by the time, let's say, if it by the time it gets here, it could coincide with this 200 EMA. So in a way, it could be a very nice potential area of support. So, but for now, the downside is slightly off the table. Yes, we are moving to the downside for now, but that downside could be short-lived because of this little short-term upside support line that we got here running from the 3rd of June. For 3rd of June. For those who are more on the cautious side, what you could do here is, in a way, wait until we see a nice good strong push back towards the 12,450 zone, approximately there. As you can see, the 12,436 area acted as a good area, resistance level here, and from which the index kind of reversed to the downside. So in a way, you could wait for that break of the 12,436, but in a way, just for that better confirmation, you could wait for a break above the 12,450 level, and then the index would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could then target the 12,596, or in a way, you could actually round it up to the 12,600. So we're not going to kind of aim for a slight higher areas for now. First, we would like to see if it actually would do such a move or not. But again, like I said, for now, even though we are moving towards the downside a little bit, still, as long as it remains above this short-term upside line, we will stay somewhat positive on the DAX. If this upside line breaks and we see a close below this upside line, then, well, we will consider a possible move towards the psychological 12,000. Jumping into one commodity here, which is Brent oil. Now, as you can see by this 4-hour chart, you can see that the commodity found its kind of spot here. This is where it got held. It got held near the 200 EMA here on the 4-hour chart. It did overshoot it a few times, but kind of failed to push above the 65.70 zone. So basically, this is going to be the level that we're going to be keeping a close eye on, because a nice good push above this, then yep, would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could then target the area around the 67 zone or even the 68 level. So for now, it seems that it tried to today tried to push above the 65.70 but failed, and now it's testing its pivot. So we're going to be very careful here, because in a way we could see this one sliding back down. The only thing is that for us to get comfortable with let's say at least slightly lower levels here, a drop below the 64 level would be required, and this would actually come in line with this little upside line here, taken from the low. And let me just quickly finish this one off, taken from the low of the 18th of June. So this little short-term tentative upside line, if we see a break below this, this would also place the price below this 64 level that I just talked about. So in a way, this would kind of play out nicely here. In terms of in order to, let's say, consider the downside here, a break below the 64 level could potentially lead towards a retest of the 62.50 level approximately there. This time, of course, it would be from above. As you can see previously here in the mid-June, it acted as a very good area of resistance until it got broken on the 19th. So that's why we would target that level again, but this time from above, of course, but only if we see a drop below the 64 level. So this is basically the game plan for us right now. This little area will remain somewhat neutral, and just continue observing the price action and wait for a clear break through one of these levels that I just mentioned. Very quickly on one of the pairs that you probably don't look at very often, and that's USDZAR, so the US dollar against the South African rand. So after it drifted lower last week, you can see it found some support near this little level right here. Let me just put this one on the chart, and near the 14.1850. Let's round it up a little bit here. So near that level, the pair found its support and then reversed to the upside. Now of course it did climb higher, but then we saw this little sell-off again, but you can see that the recent drop, or today's drop, didn't actually reach the last week's lows, and we can see that now the pair is reversing to the upside. We're keeping a close eye on this level right here near the 14.39 zone. A nice good pop above this, or in a way, actually, what you could do here is ignore this 39, just round it up towards the 1440 zone. So good potential target could be this one, so around this level right here, which also this 14.4080. A nice good push above this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could then target maybe the 200 EMA here on the 4-hour chart, but that's of course only if we see a nice good push above this 14.4080 zone. So for now, it's still below this. At the same time, if we see a push above this level, then we could get a nice break of this 21 EMA and a break of this R1 level. So, and this way, like I said, this could open the path towards slightly higher levels. For now, it seems that it's trying to get there. Let's see if it actually manages to do that. If it does, then yep, this could be good news for the buyers here, and we could aim for the 200 EMA. In terms of the downside, well, we're going to be very careful here. If we see a drop back below the 14.2790 area, approximately there, then we will consider a possible move towards the last week's lows. And if those get broken, then yep, further declines are possible. But for now, it seems that the downside could be slightly off the table. Let's see how this is going to play out near the 14.4080 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. Very quickly on euro dollar. Now, this one is still, this is what I was talking about this morning. Basically, we we need to see a nice good clear break above this 1.1390 level. So this whole day it kind of is flirting with this area, but initially it did try to push higher. It did try to reach this R1, today's R1, near the 1.14030, something like that, but kind of failed to do that, and now you can see that it's reversing back to the downside. We will remain very careful with this one, because we could see this one sliding back down, but this is the area that we're going to be keeping a close eye on, the 1.134850 zone, because in a way what we could see happening is something like this. Basically, if this area here acts as a very nice area of support, we may see a nice rebound and a push back to the upside. But still, for those who are more on the cautious side, you could in a way wait until we get that nice good clear break and a nice good clear close of the 4-hour candle above this 1.1390 level. So keep your eyes on that one, guys. If this, of course, the 1.1348 level fails to withhold, well, I mean, this could eventually slide back down towards the I wouldn't say a psychological, but a nice good number of 1.13. So if we do see a move towards that area, we'll take it carefully, because of course we may see a further decline. The only thing is that the further decline could be limited, declines could be limited due to this upside line, this short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 30th of May. But of course, for now, this is just an idea. For now, it is still, even though it is retracing back down right now a little bit, still this is looking more positive than negative. Keep your eyes on this 1.1350-48 zone. If it holds, we may see another push higher. If it gets a nice good break, then we will consider a possible move towards the 1.13 level again. GBP very quickly, GBPUSD. So it's now, this morning I was talking about this one as well. So we did get our break and a close above the 1.2750, but as you can see now, it kind of started selling off. It sold off and it's now testing its pivot, today's pivot. So of course this doesn't kind of look quite promising for GBPUSD. Certainly, don't get me wrong, we still have the full US trading session to go through. Now that we may not see maybe a lot of activity there, but still keep your eyes on this 1.2750. If another good push above that potentially could lead towards the 1.2815 level. For now, that's still our game plan. We're going to be very careful with this one. In terms of the downside, well, again, also I'll say that we're very careful. We're waiting for that drop below the 1.2640 before we could consider a possible move further down. But for now, you can see it's kind of stuck here near its pivot. Let's see how this is going to play out. In a way, if this continues to slide lower, then yep, we may end up testing the 1.2640. But again, from a more of a near-term perspective, a drop below the 1.2640 is required in order to kind of consider further declines, as I said, in the near term. GBPCHF, the last pair for this session. This one, of course, is, well, it's difficult to even talk about it. I mean, it looks tragic. The bulls just get crushed here. But the only thing is that there's some little hope here for the bulls, is that the pair is kind of moving towards this key area of support here. It's around here, it's between these two levels, or it's near this 1.24 zone. It's now, of course, it's below that. The other area that we're keeping a close eye on, let me just jump back into the 4-hour chart on this one. And let me just scroll back here. So this is the area that we're keeping a close eye on here, near the 1.2357, something like that, approximately there. So as you can see, this was like an intraday swing low here of the 2nd of January. So good potential target. If we do see a nice good test of that area, the 1.2357, then, well, we may even actually see the rate getting stalled here. And if we do see something like that, there could be a small chance for the bulls to step in and drive this one to the upside, or excuse me, or I would say push it for a larger correction to the upside, because as you can see, the it's still this pair doesn't look quite strong, and it's quite difficult to find that good sweet spot here for a support from which the pair could rebound and maybe push to the upside for quite a longer period of time. But for now, it's all downhill here for GBPCHF. Initially, keep your eyes on the 1.2357. If it gets held here, then maybe we could see a small retracement back to the upside. But if it gets broken, the next potential target could be around the 1.2290 level, which is marked near the lows of the 2nd of January. So keep your eyes on this one. Very interesting and tricky at the same time pair, but let's see how this is going to play out. For those who are more on the cautious side, you could, in a way, what you could do here is, in a way, wait for a push above this level right here, near the 1.2474, something like that, and then you could, in a way, target slightly higher levels. But for now, it seems to be moving lower. Let's see if it actually manages to reach one of our levels here, and one of the levels that I've just mentioned, the 1.2357. If it manages to do that, we'll keep a close eye on it, because if it stalls here, then we may see this one maybe correcting back to the upside. If it continues to break that, if it continues to slide lower, then yep, the 1.2290 level could come into play at some point. Okay guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for sticking around and watching until the end. If you want to join me tomorrow morning at my Traders Espresso, as always, that's 6 o'clock GMT time. But as I said, if you don't want to miss our videos, just simply subscribe and click on the bell on one of our videos. Yep, this way you won't be able to miss the sessions that we do on a daily basis and in different languages. So keep your eyes on the price action, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.